Look at Yannetti. Yannetti's just ready to like take this guy to town. Oh my god.
Yes or no?
I've never seen him make that face in court before. Oh, well, how sweet. He owned up to them. F you, bro. Not buying it. Lally doesn't like something. I thought I had some bad cops that I had to deal with. This guy takes the cake. Oh my god. If you all are watching and at least like not wanting to throw up like I do. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to your favorite show on the internet, Raw Law Unfiltered, with your favorite host of all time, the DUI Guy. Plus today, part 3 of the nastiest, most vile human beings I think I have ever encountered in my years as a professional. If this were my case, oh my god, I'll probably get arrested for assault. Physically punching this guy in the face in the middle of him testifying. I probably wouldn't be able to contain myself. I don't know how Jackson does it. He must be a miracle worker. He must be some type of saint. He must be, I don't know. He must have something that I don't, because I don't know. I would never be able to maintain. Folks, you're about to watch a train wreck in slow motion. You are going to be captivated. You are going to be appalled. You're going to be disgusted. You're going to sigh in disbelief. You're going to scoff and smirk and look upon your TV screen with disgust. It's going to be a train wreck in slow motion, and you will not be able to look away. You are going to be captivated by this episode. Trooper Michael Proctor, the lead investigator, allegedly, seems like the lead cover-upper of the Canton murder of John O'Keefe, is testifying about his text messages with a bunch of high school buddies and his superiors, and calling Karen Reed names for no reason, saying that they're just going to throw it on her, we're going to make it cut and dry, there's a cop involved, Brian Albert, which he doesn't name by name, as we learned from the previous episode, and he just, you know, F it, who cares? I don't know, I don't care. She's just some lady, we're just gonna, whatever, you know? Yeah, who cares? Oh my god, folks. Oh my god. I just can't, but let's get into it, shall we?
All accounts. Did you?
What I meant by that was...
Did you or did you not have all accounts in your investigation?
The accounts we had was Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle, discovered taillight pieces at the scene. Those are the accounts we had.
The accounts
and
you had... I'm sorry, go
Did
ahead.
he say discovered? I'm sorry, did he say discovered pieces at the scene or scattered pieces at the scene? Was that an accidental Freudian slip? Hold on, I want to hear that again. What do you guys hear?
At the scene. Those are the accounts we had. Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle, discovered taillight pieces at the scene. Those are the accounts we had.
The accounts you had... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The accounts you had, Trooper Proctor, were from 2 people named McCabe and 1 named Albert, who happened to be the homeowner and a Boston cop. Those are the accounts from percipient witnesses that you had, correct?
There was another additional witness that we had, investigators had interviewed, Miss Roberts as well.
And from all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. That was your decision 16 hours into the investigation, correct?
Yes.
And the other decision that you made and the other determination you came to was my client, Karen Reed, was a whack job cunt, right?
Yes.
And how he just freely admits it.
What else did you say in response to, she's hot at least? Or she hot at least, question mark?
So following that text, I responded, yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's a babe. Who's the she?
Miss Reed.
Weird Fall River accent, though. You talking about her, the way she talks?
The accent.
The way she talks?
And no ass. Now you're talking about her body, her physique, correct?
Yes.
You think that's appropriate?
Absolutely not.
Then Bird chimes in with a little comedy. Not newsworthy then.
These guys are all like peas in a pod. They found each other, they protect each other, they just find all this Locker room talk, fascinating. You're talking about a man's life here. You're talking about a man who lost his life in a physical altercation with a Boston police officer and or his family. And you're using the girlfriend to cover up their deeds. And you're just not batting an eyelash and you're making fun. I mean, these guys are just, they're brutes, they're grunts, they're ogres. There's no other way I can describe them. And by the way, why are like 30% of all the witnesses who have testified, why are they all bald? Have you all noticed that pattern? Are they all like losing their hair due to stress, so they just shave their heads? Is that possible? When you're so rotten to the core, I wonder, I can't help but wonder if there is like a pattern here.
Correct?
Not trying to be
Correct.
In other words, well, she didn't have an ass. Nothing to see here, correct?
Objection.
Oh my God.
Sustained.
And then 5051 says, oh, she's skating, right?
Correct.
And what did you write after that?
My response was 0 chance she skated.
And then what did you write?
She's fucked.
0 chance she skates. She's fucked, right?
Correct.
You decided on the 29th of January, 17 hours into this investigation, you decided individually, Trooper Proctor, you're not only going to put it on the girl, you decided you're going to make sure this is cut and dried, and the way you're going to do it is to make sure that she's fucked. That's what you were saying.
Objection.
All right, so that's sustained. The content's fine. You have to ask it differently.
That was
17
a
hours into
beautiful
this
question.
investigation, Trooper Proctor, you made the decision that you were going to put it on Miss Reed, didn't you? Put the case on Miss Reed. She was going to catch the case, correct?
No, absolutely not.
What did you mean then when you said she's fucked?
After the day's investigation with multiple troopers conducting multiple tasks and a debriefing at Canton PD amongst detectives in my office, we went through the overwhelming amount of evidence against Miss Reed that she struck Mr.
The overwhelming amount of evidence in 16 hours? Please.
O'Keefe with her vehicle. That's what I meant by that comment.
What you meant by that comment, Trooper Proctor, was you were going to make sure because 5051 had said she's going to skate. She's skating. When you said 0 chance she skates, she's fucked. What you meant was, I am going to make sure Ms. Reed doesn't skate.
Yep.
She's fucked. That's what you meant.
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh my God, beautiful.
And then
The
Bird
jury heard
decides
it.
to chime in. Good, no ass bitch, right?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And how did you respond to Bird saying, good, no ass bitch?
I laughed.
Thought that was funny, did you? Trooper Proctor? Thought that was funny?
It was unprofessional of me. That's something I shouldn't have done.
Well, I think we all know it was unprofessional. It was a lot of things. I'm asking
Yeah.
you, did you think it was funny?
No, according to my response at the time, apparently.
Damn.
Then you sent a picture, just to add to it, to pile on, of Miss Reed being arrested, correct?
I don't. I'm not sure if that came from me, sir.
Let's skip to 2543. Are you there, Trooper Proctor?
Yes.
The date is now February 2nd, 2022. And a person by the name of Doc writes, is that chick a smoke? Correct?
Correct.
Who's the chick?
Miss Reed.
And you write, E-H, right?
Yes.
And then you write nutbag, as Chief would say, correct?
Correct.
Who's Chief?
A friend of mine.
And then you write what?
She's got a leaky balloon knot.
Trooper Proctor, explain to the jurors what a balloon knot is.
No.
Your essentially, I guess, your rectum area.
Your anus?
Yes.
That's what you were referring to about Miss Reed?
Yes.
And you were making fun of her because you believed at that time that it leaked?
Look at Yannetti.
That's how you
Yannetti's just ready to like take this guy to town. Oh my god.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Look at Yannetti's face. I've never seen him make that face in court before.
About what you meant.
Look at that face again. Look at that. Look at that face.
Yes.
Look at
You were
Yannetti.
making fun of her
Oh my
at the
god.
time that it leaked. That's how you were
Now
treating
that's
her?
genuine emotion, folks. He's just ready to take Proctor to town. Freeze frame it. Oh my god. Wow. I have never seen Yannetti make that face before. He looks so livid. Wow.
Yes or no?
Yes.
And then you followed that up just to make sure you cleared up any mistake about what you meant with leaks poo, correct?
Objection.
All right, so I'm going to strike that. You could get this in, but do it the right way, Mr. Jackson.
You followed that up with the phrase leaks poo, didn't you?
I did.
Again, another reference to Miss Reed's medical issues and medical conditions, correct?
Correct.
Specifically focused on her anus, correct?
Oh my
In
God.
reference, yes.
Oh my god.
Were you aware at the time that you wrote this that Miss Reed had suffered a colectomy surgery, very serious surgery?
I was not, sir, no.
Yes,
were you
you
aware
were.
that she had had 10 surgeries in 18 months, several years prior? 10.
I was not aware of that.
Were you aware that she had serious medical issues, gastrointestinal medical issues that she suffered with, she was a victim of for years? Did you know that?
Objection.
Sustained.
But you decided that you were going to take another shot at her and talk about her anatomy.
1 second, sir. I'm sorry.
God, he looks so guilty. He's laying his head low.
All set.
He looks like a lost
I'm sorry.
puppy.
You decided that you were going to take another shot at her and talk about her anatomy as a balloon knot, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
But
At this point, Trooper Proctor, Miss Reed was just reduced to a punchline to you, wasn't she?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, you weren't done yet. This chat doesn't end yet, does it?
No, sir.
Let's skip to 2543.
he's getting all the
On the
meat.
same date, February 2nd, 2022, about 4:15 p.m., a person by the name of Whitey wrote, "What are you guzzling on?" Correct?
Yes.
And you wrote, "Nothing, writing a warrant." Is that right?
Correct.
Whitey then shares some sort of a video, correct?
Yes.
You remember that video being of the 1980s band Warrant?
I don't recall the video he sent.
0095 laughed and then wrote, "Wait, why does her asshole leak?" Correct?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And then what did Doc write in response to that?
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained. I'll see you at sidebar. Take that down, please.
Oh, is it really that bad? I thought we've already gone through the worst, Lally. Like, this part makes you uncomfortable? You don't want the jurors to hear this?
You are unmuted.
Get him, Jackson. Get him.
Without
that-
reference to-
Take that down.
Go ahead, pull it up. Without reference to the specifics of what was
I'm going to see counsel at sidebar.
Again?
Trooper Proctor, without getting to the specifics of the words used in the following in the next exchange that you're looking at, it's fair to say that your high school buddies then continue to discuss Miss Reed's medical issues, correct?
Objection.
That's sustained. Come on, Mr. Jackson. That isn't what you said you'd ask. Go ahead and ask the question you said you'd ask.
Pulling a
Was there a
switcheroo.
continued discussion that finished on this subject matter?
Yes.
By the way,
Monday-
just a little side note, I can't imagine the amount of information that Jackson has to juggle in his head. I mean, with so many people, so many witnesses, so many players, so many key events, he must have some type of like photographic memory. Maybe not like a full-blown photographic or eidetic memory, but he's got to have like a very, very good memory. Doesn't he? Like, seriously, can you imagine having to deal with a case of this magnitude with like 60 prosecution witnesses? I mean, I see myself doing that one day. I'm not going to lie. Right now, I'm limited to trials somewhere between 1 and 10 witnesses. That's probably my biggest one. I had 10 witnesses. It was a 2-day trial. I was at the beginning of my career. But this is a whole different beast, you know. I'm 36. I got time. I got plenty of time to get there. Jackson is like in his 60s. Although I don't know. This seems to be doing pretty well. The YouTube. It's a lot less stress. I'll tell you that much. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be trying cases in the future. I know I'd be really damn good at it. Anyway, enough of this soliloquy. Sorry about that, folks. Just a little personal moment there, I guess. What do y'all think? Let me know in
You
the comments
indicated
below.
that your conduct in this case, and specifically your conduct as reflected in these messages, how did you put it? It did not affect the integrity of the investigation, of your investigation, correct? That's what you
Correct.
said to the jurors.
Correct.
Do you know what the definition of integrity is?
Doing the right thing when no one's looking.
It means the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, that's
Do you
the...
believe that integrity means being honest and having strong moral principles?
I believe that's part of it as well.
Do you stand by that testimony that you were showing strong moral principles in this investigation, sir?
In the investigation part, absolutely. Through these text messages, absolutely not. They were juvenile and regrettable.
Oh, well, how sweet. He owned up to them. F you, bro. Not buying it.
When you say they're juvenile and regrettable, it sounds like you're almost apologizing to the jury for your conduct. Is that what you're doing?
For those text,
Objection.
Sustained.
He
Proctor,
almost
you ever
answered.
apologize to Miss Reed?
Objection.
Sustained.
Valid questions.
As the lead investigator in this case, you were tasked with the responsibility of making sure that the investigation remained free of any conflicts of interest. That's part of your job, correct?
correct.
Throughout the pendency of this investigation and this case, you've denied having any conflict of interest in this case. Isn't that right?
Correct.
In fact, a couple of months ago in February of 2024, you testified in a different proceeding. Is that right?
Yes.
And you
The
testified under
FBI
oath
grand
in
jury.
that proceeding on February 1st that you did not know any members of the Albert family or McCabe family, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
Certain members of the Albert family I did not know. I know Chris and Julie and Colin. I don't know the McCabes.
That wasn't my question. Did you testify? Let's take them one at a time. Did you testify under oath, same oath you took here today, in a former proceeding in February of 2024, that you did not know and did not have any relationship with members of the Albert and McCabe families? Did you?
I haven't had a chance to review those minutes. I've only had one opportunity to.
Oh my
That
God.
was,
What
a
did
couple
you
months ago.
say?
So I would want to review those minutes in order to answer that accurately.
You can't remember how you testified, whether or not you knew or had relationships with the Alberts and McCabes?
Objection.
Sustained.
No, that's a valid question. Can you not remember from memory what you said just 3-4 months ago, sir? These people. Can I see the minutes? Can I see the transcript? He's no better than Jennifer McCabe. Which lie was I using this testimony?
Now you need to refresh your recollection. You can't remember what you said.
Objection.
Do you remember what you said?
During that proceeding, no.
Wow.
Would it refresh your recollection
Wow.
if you took a look at those grand jury minutes?
Yes.
What page, Mr. Jackson?
This is page 01563.
I mean, even the court reporter is so uncomfortable. God, look at her. Her face, she's usually kind of like, but today she's just disgusted with this man. She can't even look at him.
If you'd review that and look up when you're finished, would that refresh your recollection about a question and answer that you had, or a series of questions and answers that you had while you were testifying under oath in that other proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Objection. May we approach?
Yes.
Lally doesn't like something.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. You were asked the question, quote, did you communicate with First Assistant DA Beeland that you did not know and had no relationship with the Albert and McCabe families? And you answered, quote, to the best of my recollection, the same conversation took place with everyone I talked to about this because it's the same answer. It's the facts that I shared with everyone. Question, meaning you told First Assistant Beeland that you didn't know, didn't have a relationships with
Objection, Your Honor.
members of the Albert and McCabe families. Answer, correct.
Yes, that's correct.
So your question is whether he said this?
Correct. Whether that's his testimony. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And that's your testimony that you, in fact, told members of the DA's office that you did not know and did not have a relationship with the Alberts or McCabes. Is that right?
Holy
I
crap.
did not know the McCabes. I don't know most of the Alberts, and I have little to no relationship with Chris and Julie. So that's what I meant by that answer.
Well, the question wasn't, did you know most of the Alberts? The question was, did you have a relationship with, or did you know
Any.
the Alberts? And your answer was, no.
No, I don't have a relationship with the Alberts.
Or know them.
I don't know the McCabes. I don't
Oh
have a
my
relationship with
God.
the Alberts.
So you do
You
know
asked-
the Alberts, correct?
I know some of them, Julie and Chris.
And Colin, correct?
Correct, and Colin.
And you knew the Alberts when you gave this testimony in February of 2024. Is that right?
Yeah, they asked if there was any relationships.
And
Also, by the way, how many jurors do you all think at this juncture in the testimony, especially when, who was it? Brian Nagel? I think it was Brian Nagel, who accidentally slipped up and said, oh, you mean the Fed investigation? The federal grand jury or something like that? He said the word Fed in open court. I believe that's the day I was there. I believe that's the day I was in court, actually. And I wonder how many jurors are listening to this and like, wait a minute, this guy testified in February of 2024? Well, it could have been related to this case. Maybe it was like a suppression hearing, there's some legal aficionados on the jury, I presume. But I wonder how many of them are going, oh yeah, there was that one kid who said Fed. I wonder if this is like a federal investigator, because like the lead investigator is giving testimony and it's not to us, it's somewhere else, to somebody else. What does that mean? Is he being investigated? There's a lot of questions and not very many answers, especially because you can't give those answers to the jury because they can't know about the federal investigation because that's going to taint the whole case and all that. Unfortunately, that's obvious and that's true.
let's try this again. Meaning you told First Assistant Beeland that you didn't know, didn't have relationships with members of the Alberts and members of the Albert and McCabe families. Answer, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Was that ambiguous in your mind?
The way I interpreted relationships was basically being like friends or, communications, frequent communications. That's how I interpreted
Well, that might have been a
relations.
good time to pipe up and say, well, I know Chris and I know Julie and I know Colin, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
That
It's
might have been a
true.
good time to answer the question, I know these three individuals from the Albert family, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
But your answer was one word, correct, right?
Yes.
You further testified that you never have gone to any supervisor at Massachusetts State Police to disclose even a potential conflict of interest in this case that you might have, correct?
Correct.
And you indicated the needs never come up. Is that right?
Correct.
You also told ADA Lally that you, quote, did not have relationships or know members of the Albert or McCabe families, correct?
Correct.
And that's just not true, is it? You did know, you do know members of the Albert family. Isn't that right?
It's different from having a relationship with people.
But what
Oh,
about
my
part
God.
of the question? Did not have relationships or know members of the Albert or McCabe families. How about that part of the question?
Well, that's lumped in with the McCabes. I don't know the McCabe family, sir.
I see. So what you did,
Oh my
Trooper
God.
Proctor, is you dissected the sentence, and where relationships are concerned, you ignored that in terms of the Alberts because you don't have relationships. Where no is concerned, you link that to the McCabes because you don't know the McCabes. That's what you did?
No.
So it's sustained. You can ask it. You can break it down, Mr. Jackson.
Not sure I can. I'll ask it a different way. How about if I just ask it this way? That was a lie.
No, absolutely not.
There you go.
You stand by that testimony?
Yes.
That you don't know at the time that you testified, that you didn't know the Alberts or any members of the Albert family?
They don't have relationships with them.
Okay. My question is, you keep going back to relationships. I'm asking you, did you testify that you didn't
This
know?
guy's such a
Objection.
weasel.
I'll let him have it. Do you understand the question, Trooper?
I knew Chris, Julie, and Colin.
So if you were to say, I don't know any members of the Albert family, that would have been
A lie.
correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
But that's true. That's it. The jury heard it. Move on, Jackson.
Your Honor, this is the point at which I intend to turn to tab 3, and I believe we need to approach.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Man. Wow. Wow. Jackson is going to town on this guy. Oh my God, he's going to town on this guy. This is unbelievable. This is such heinous stuff. This man is like the dirtiest, slimiest, scummiest. I thought I had some bad cops that I had to deal with. This guy takes the cake. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even with this guy. It makes me sick. He makes me want to vomit. He makes me want to like literally just go, oh man, whatever I had for lunch today needs to come right back up because I can't, you guys. I literally can't. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all are watching and at least like not wanting to throw up like I do. Oh my God, we're gonna continue this tomorrow. Bye everybody.